Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra
Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.
So today we will discuss on the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, before we start, this is the first chapter and we will discuss on text 11 towards forward. Okay. So before we start that is Chaitanya, this chapter, there are some recap that I want to discuss on this. So that recap is that the recap is that is we know that this is actually the Mahaprabhu's Leela. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everybody knows that who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu's uh, Mahaprabhu's life is that is the life of those devotees. Those devotees who follows the footsteps of Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Sanatana Goswami. Then the Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they are the followers of the Swarup Damodar Goswami. We know that who is Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swarup Damodar Goswami was the secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now we can think that what is the exalted position of Swarup Damodar Goswami's position. And Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami personally was instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that means that in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 19 is Rupa Goswami Shiksha, and 20th, 21 chapter are the Sanatana Goswami Shiksha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given the Shiksha to both of them. So this is the Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, and Swarup Damodar Goswami is an secretary I mentioned before, as well as confidential servant of Mahaprabhu. What in the Mahaprabhu did, his pastime, two persons is written his pastimes. One is Swarup Damodar Goswami, that is one of them, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami actually taken notes from Swarup Damodar Goswami's Korsa. Korsa means diary. So this is that is the Swarup Damodar Goswami's. And there is another personality that who written Chaitanya Charitamrita. So everybody knows that Krishnadas Goswami written Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that Krishnadas Goswami was the disciple of Narottam Das Thakur, as well as disciple of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. So he has a lot of mercy from Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, as well as Narottam Das Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur. And the what I am telling, because we need to understand that is what is the essence of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada written, it is a postgraduate studies. That is, what is the postgraduate studies? That is the topmost transcendental realization. That is for that, it is called the postgraduate studies. So topmost transcendental realization, how can we get it? We can get it through the parampara system. Evam parampara praptam imam rajasya yogido. Krishna also mentioned that in Bhagavad Gita. So without any parampara system, nobody can achieve perfect knowledge. What is the perfect knowledge? Perfect knowledge means to understand Krishna. Absolute truth. That is the perfect knowledge. So then from Narottam Das Thakur, that is we in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are a lot of explanation was written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is the disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. So then the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, there is another exalted Acharya Jagannath Das Babaji. From Jagannath Das Babaji, it comes to Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is the disciple of Jagannath Das Babaji. Then it comes from Bhakti Vinod Thakur, disciple Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. From Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, it comes to our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. From Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Srila Prabhupada came. So this is our parampara system. So without any parampara system, we cannot understand to realize the Lord. So now the Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's lila to realize is not so easy things. To realize Mahaprabhu's lila, we must have to a very, very, elevated soul. Then Mahaprabhu's lila will be understood. I am giving one or two examples. First of all, Gop Kumar, I gave in my class so many times also, he was a great devotee and he was serving to Lord Krishna and went to Vaikuntha Lok. So his target to go to Goloka Vrindavan. He could not able to go there because he did not participate in the Sankirtan Japna. That means Mahaprabhu's the transcendental abode. He did not participate in there. So without any Mahaprabhu's transcendental abode, nobody can go to Golokadam. That is one example. So that is other so many examples, that is Mahaprabhu's lila. That means that is not the mundane lila. These are the special lila. That for that reason, elevated souls, elevated sadhus, they can enter into Mahaprabhu's lila. How it can be realized? That means Mahaprabhu's lila submits, somebody, elevated soul, submits transcendental sound with a receptive mode. with a receptive mode can one realize the message of Mahaprabhu. So now we can think that how it is so deep. I am telling again, that is the deep devotee who submits transcendental sound. Can one realize the message of Mahaprabhu? What does it mean? Sravanam. Sravanam Kirtanam. That means that advanced devotee can hear and come to the heart. Then come to the heart, then Krishna, the Paramatma, can understand. So Mahaprabhu is not different than the Paramatma. So last class, Bhagavad Gita class, I was given one example from Bhakti Vinod Thakur's writing. That is that Bhakti Vinod Thakur written that Kannarandram Pathodiya Ridi Maje Praveshiya Borishoy Shuddha Onukkan. What does it mean? That sound vibration should enter in through the ear passage and comes to the heart. That is as a shower. Then the Paramatma will awaken, Paramatma will be very happy. That means then we can make happy to our Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is that transcendental vibration should accept in our heart. That's the most, that is how it can be done, how it can be fruitified. That is written in, explained in Chaitanya Caritamrita. So these are some are background of the Chaitanya Caritamrita. The subject matter of Chaitanya Caritamrita is not a mental cognition. It is an factual. It is a fact. It is a factual spiritual experiences that one can realize only by the accepting the line of Guru Parampara system. Sincere devotee can realize the transcendental position by oneself. Anyone who follows the disciplic succession will be able to realize the essence of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that means that only the certain person who is elevated, they can realize the essence of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the method is oral reception. That is Sravanam. Through the Sravan and Kirtan, people, the devotee can realize Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is about the Chaitanya Charitamrita scriptures. Now it is the first chapter, 14 Sanskrit text. It was written, the 14 texts are the Sanskrit. Then among the 14, that is 3 texts, principal devote, it explained the principal deities of Vrindavan. What are the principal 3 deities? We know that Sambandhagyan, Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, and the Ovidheya, Radha Govindaji, and third is Prayojana. Prayojana deities is an Radha Gopinathji. These three personalities, it was explained before in three texts, right? And the first of 14 texts, it is the symbolic representation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The entire actually first chapter is actually devoted to this single verse that described Lord Chaitanya in his 6 expansions, transcendental expansions. That is. So, I will explain that is later what are the 6 principal transcendental expansion. So first Lord manifestation, that means manifestation means that the spiritual master. That spiritual master are there are two plenary part. One part is initiating a spiritual master, we called it Diksha Guru, and the other is instructing a spiritual master is called instructing a spiritual master. Mind that one is initiating a spiritual master, other is instructing a spiritual master, which is called Shiksha Guru. So both are identical actually. Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru are both are identical. I am not going to explain all through about the Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. So that is that both are phenomenal manifestation of Lord. So the next point is that next described are the devotees in 2 ways. Some devotees are apprentice means new devotee, and some are graduates, that they are the experienced devotees. So there are 2 types of devotees, it was described in here. The next incarnation are the avatars. Avatarohi ashankayo. There are a lot of avatars. So that is the avatar. So we know that how avatars comes, that avatars come from the Shirodakshayi Vishnu. Those avatars are the incarnation, then Kurma avatar, Varaha avatar, they are the incarnations came from Shirodakshayi Vishnu. So that is, these avatars, they are not different from Lord, but there is a different, which is called Achinta Vedavet Tattva. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Chaitanya appeared in this material world to give the lessons of Achinta Vedavet Tattva. So it is clear that Achinta Vedavet Tattva, it is true, but it is not true. Avatar are the incarnation of Lord. They are equal to Lord, but not equal to Lord. That is the Achinta Vedavet Tattva. So these avatars, that is 3 divisions in the avatars. Incarnation of the potency of Lord, then incarnation of Lord's qualities, and incarnation of Lord authority. Though there are 3 types of avatars. Lord, so then Lord potency, incarnation of the Lord potency. The potencies are 3 principles manifestation. 3 principles are manifested. That is, one is the consort, the potency. I'm talking about the Lord potency. One potency is consort of in the kingdom of God, which is called Vaikuntha. Who is the God Vaikuntha? Lakshmi Devi. Right? Then queens in Dwarka. How many queens Krishna has? 1008 queens in there. So they are the queens, they are also Krishna's potency. Then in Vrindavan, there is a Gopikas. There are lots of Gopikas in Vrindavan. That is the damsels of Braja. So we got it, there are principles, Lord's potencies. There are the principles. And Lord, so then Lord is the head of the manifestation. Then we can come into, now we understand the first chapter, what it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is just a little recap, just I gave them. Now, now I can talk to our jump into our class text 11. Joshang shang shangsha para atma kilanang prosta ostaka Vishnu bate dugda dishayi khoni varta jata kala shoha pannanta ta stang Sri Nityananda Ramang prapadde. Here, translation is written by Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Lord Sri Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Shirodashai Vishnu is the super soul of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. Sheshanaga is his further support. So now here, this is a very important things we can discuss on this. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram. So we know that the expansion, Krishna's expansion, first Krishna expanded first Balaram. Balaram, he expanded first quadruple. What are them? Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So from Shankarsana, it expand to Narayan in Vaikuntha. That is lots of millions of Narayans is there in Vaikuntha. So then Narayan expand second quadruple. That quadruple, what are them? Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Same name but different functions. But that is the manifestation. This second quadruple function is to maintain these universes. That is it is quite different from the first quadruple function. So in second quadruple function is also, that is Vasudev is a Ram and Shankarshan is an Lakshman and Bharat and Shatrughna are the Aniruddha and Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha and Aniruddha. Yes, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, both of them. So this is the second function. Okay. From second Shankarshana, there is an expansion also. That expansion is an Mahavishnu. That expansion is a plenary portion, Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu, it expanded the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. Each and every universes, there is a Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. And from Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, there is a milk of ocean, the lying in the milk of ocean, the is a Shirodakshayi Vishnu is lying on the milk of ocean, which is called the Shirodakshayi Vishnu. So here it is written that I offer my respectful obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityanandaram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying in the ocean of milk. That Shirodakshai Vishnu is the super soul, and he is a super soul within our heart of all living entities and the maintainer of all the universes. So Sheshanag is his further support. That Sheshanag is also came from is a came from Shirodakshai Vishnu. So this is the explanation of this text is the plenary expansion explanation. Now the next next on Mahavishnur Jagat Karta Maya Ja Srijata Adha. That is what is the text of this one? This is the I'm first reading this book. Mahavishnu Jagat Kata Maya Ja Sajjita Sajatat Tasyavatara Avayam Advaita Acharya Ishvara. That is who is the Mahavishnu Jagat Kata. Translation: Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu. So now, who is the first 11 text is the about the Mahavishnu, right? Shirodakshai Vishnu. Actually, it was explained about the Shirodakshai Vishnu, and Advaita Acharya is an incarnation of the Mahavishnu. Advaita Acharya has another character. Is also he is a Sadashiv also. So whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the action of Maya. Maya. Here it was written that Maya ja Srijatat. Maya jataka Srijatat. So Maya, that action of Maya, through the action, he created the cosmic world. All the universes he created. That Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya, he was born in Bangladesh. There is a district called Sylhet, Srihatta. He was born in Srihatta. Then he went to Navadvip. Then he went to Navadvip and he was studying, he was preaching, and he was participating in Chaitanya Lila. He did a lot of Leelas in Navadvip, and he was about 50 years older than Mahaprabhu. So there are a lot of Leelas in about the Advaita Acharyas. In appearance of Advaita Acharyas, it was explained because so many speakers they started. So it is. I'm not going to that. I just what are the written in the text. That is. So next one is that text number 13. Advaitam Harinat Daitat Asajang Bhakti Shangshanat Bhakta Avataram Ishang Tam Advaita Asajam Ashrayem. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. Aditya. Aditya means second. A means no Ditya, no second. That means he is an Hari also. Advaitam Harinath Advaitat. That means Advaitam Harinath Advaitat. That means he is not different from Hari. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he propagate the devotional bhakti he was propagated in there. And he is called Acharya. Why it is called Acharya? Acharya is called the person who propagate the bhakti is called the Acharya. So he is the Lord and the incarnation of Lord's devotee. He is the incarnation of Lord's devotee, Advaita Acharya. Therefore, I take shelter of him. Advaita, Advaitang Harinath Advaita, Acharyam Bhakti Shangshanat, Bhakta Avataram Isham, Tam Advaita Acharyam Ashrayem. Now, we can come into text number 14. We can come in here. That is most important text. Panchatattva Atmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sharupakam Bhaktaya Avataram Bhaktakam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Here I offer my obeisances unto Supreme Lord Krishna, who is non-different from his features as a devotee. Devotional incarnation, devotional manifestation, pure devotee and devotional energy. So here, Panchatattva, why we call Panchatattva? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expand himself in a 5 ways. So that 5 ways, what is the 5 ways? Mahaprabhu himself, Nityananda Prabhu, second, third, Advaita Acharya, fourth, Gadadhar Prabhu, and fifth, Srivas Thakur. So what are them? That is, Mahaprabhu is an Bhakta avatar. The Bhakta avatar, Panchatattva Atmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sharupakam. It is Bhakta Rupa. He is a Bhakta Rupa. He is a Bhakta avatar. Bhakta avataram. Who is the Bhakta avataram? That is that here 5 different devotional incarnation. Bhakta avataram, devotional manifestation, and pure devotee and devotional energy. So what is devotional energy? Who is devotional energy? Gadadhar Prabhu. Who is Gadadhar Prabhu? He is Srimati Radharani. And who is a pure Bhakta? He is an Srivas Thakur. Who is Srivas Thakur? He is a Narad Muni. He is an Bhakta. Advaita Acharya, I described that is who is the Bhakta, that is the Advaita Acharya Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is an devotional incarnation. He is an Adi Guru. From him, that Diksha Guru, and I mentioned before that, and one is Diksha Guru and another is the Shiksha Guru. That is all Guru Tattva come from Nityananda Prabhu. Why? Because he, without any mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. নিতাইয়ের করুণা হবে, ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে। নিতাইয়ের করুণা হবে, if Nityananda Prabhu will give the mercy, ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে, that in the Brajadam, that means we can get the Krishna. So that is the Nityananda Prabhu. So that ka Panchatattva Atmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sharupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakam Noami Bhakta Shaktikam. Now the next is Jayatam Shurata Upangar Mama Manda Mater Gati Mat Sarvasya Padambuja Radha Madana Mohanam. Glory to the all merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill advised, yet they are my directors and their lotus feet are everything to me. So what is this? This is the pranam mantra of Radha Madan Mohan. I mentioned before that there are three connections. That is Sambandha Gyan, that is Sambandha Gyan. So what is the Sambandha Gyan? To relation with Krishna. That is called the Sambandha Gyan. So who is the deities of Sambandha Gyan? Radha Madana Mohan. So this is the pranam mantra of Radha Madana Mohan for Sambandha Gyan. Jayatam, I am reading again. Jayatang Shurata Upango Mama Manda Mater Gati Mat Sarvasya Padambujo Radha Madana Mohanam. This is the pranam mantra to Radha Madan Mohan for the Sambandha Gyan. Now it comes the Sambandha Gyan, then Ovidaya. What is the Ovidaya Gyan? That is the Ovidaya Gyan. It is called Radha Govindaji. So Radha Govindaji pranam mantra. What is the pranam mantra? Dibbat Bindaranya Kalpa Dumadda Simat Ratnagara Sinhasanasto Simataka Radha Sril Govinda Devo Presta Libige Shebba Manush Marami. So this is the Radha Govinda Dev. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan, underneath a desire tree, Sri Sri Radha Govinda. Served by their most confidential associates, seated upon an effulgent throne, I offer my humble obeisances unto them. So that is the Radha Govindaji's pranam mantra. So that is the Ovidaya. Ovidaya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojan. Purushatta Shiromani Prema Mahajan. So Ovidaya Nama Bhakti, Prema Prayojan. So we just connected with the Krishna, that is called the Sambandha Gyan. Then when Sambandha Gyan is established, then what will be the next? What we need to do? We have a relation with Krishna, now what we need to do? That is the devotional service. Right? That's the devotional service. So that the devotional service, it is called the Ovidaya. For that reason, Chaitanya Caritamrita also mentioned that Ovidaya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojan. That prem is required to serve the Lord. Ovidaya Nama Bhakti Prema Prayojan. Purushatta Shiromani. So among all the Purushas, Prema Mahajan. Prem is the topmost. That is. So that the Prayojan. Now the left is the Sambandha Ovidaya and prayojan. Then what is the prayojan? To understand Krishna, to realize Krishna, to realize the consciousness of Krishna. That is. So what is this? Who is he? The devotee? That is the Radha Gopinath ji. So what is the mantra for Radha Gopinath ji? This is Sriman Rasarami Bongshi Bata Tatastita Karshanika Beno Shanai Gopi Gopinata Sriyohastuna. This is the Radha Gopinath ji's pranam mantra. So, uh, uh, translation, Sri Shira Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of Rasa dance, uh, stands on the shore in uh, Bhishmasvata and attracts the attention of the cowherd themselves with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. So this is the hey Krishna, you are in a Brajadam, and at the Purnima night, full moon night, you climbed in the tree, and you are playing the flute, and from the flute there are a lot of rosas coming out as a sound vibration, as a sound raise, and which is attacked our heart. Then all gopis, they are run away and they looking for where is Krishna, where is Krishna. At the midnight, they do not care everything. Krishna is our soul. Krishna is our husband. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So that is that we must have to receive that kind of transcendental stage. We must have to reach on that kind of transcendental stage. That gopi bharta kamalo dasha dashanu dasha. So that is our uh, uh, position. Our position, we are the dashanu dash of Lord Krishna. So this is the uh, then then Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. So Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Glory to Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda. Glory to Advaita Acharya, Advaita Chandra, and glory to all the devotees of Sri Gaura, Lord Chaitanya. So now, is there any questions or anything is anybody has, then we can discuss. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is anybody hearing me?
Yes, Prabhu, we are hearing you.
Oh, Subal Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam on your lotus feet. Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Very nice class, Prabhu. Nicely explained.
Yeah, so is there any questions or discussion, Prabhuji? that I can discuss on this.
Prabhu, I don't like it. Was, what you said was very nice.
Yeah.
I joined late, actually. I joined like, a little late.
Where is Niranjan Shahu? Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam,
Dada Pranam,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Do you have any questions or anything?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have one question. So when
Yes.
you are when you are talking about the expansions and the incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna, right? So I was under impression that Lord Ram is the incarnation of Kshirodaksha Vishnu, but
Yes. Ramachandra is an Vasudev, and Lakshman is an Shankarsana, and the Vasudev Shankarsana, Pradyumna is an Bharat, and Pradyumna, and Aniruddha is an his brother Shatrughna.
so you told there are two quadruples, right? One quadruple directly from Lord Balaram, right?
Yes.
And the second quadruple is from Narayan. Yeah.
Narayan.
So
Yes.
how they differ, Prabhuji? Like what is there? Like why there are two quadruples?
According to their action. That is, Lord Krishna expanded. He wants to create these universes and how to control these universes. Then his energy, he is distributed his energies. So first he created Balaram. Then Balaram, he expanded his energy in 4 ways: Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Same name, but function is different. Here Vasudev function is different. Do you know who is Vasudev? First, it is a Dwarka Krishna is a Vasudev. That is the Dwarka Krishna is an Vasudev Krishna. Vasudev. That is Vasudev son is a this Vasudev. Vasudev and Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Right? These are the first quadruple expansion. From Shankarsana of the first quadruple, the Narayan came in Vaikuntha. There are millions of Narayans and millions of Lakshmi Devi also. So that Narayan was thinking that I should help Lord Krishna in different way, how to all the universes. Then he expanded the second quadruple expansion, but although name is same, but function is different. Their function is different function. And from second quadruple, Shankarsana, and there are a lot of expansions, different expansions. It was that expansion. How can I show you? I don't know. I can try. I can try that expansion. Are you seeing now?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can see.
You can see. This is Krishna Tattva. Krishna has 3 bodily features. Then Swayam Rupa, Tat Ekatma Rupa, Avesha Rupa. Then Tat Ekatma Rupa has 2 expansion. That is the Shamshaka, Vilasha. Then Shamshaka, Swayam Shaka is there are 3 expansion. Karanadakshayi, Garbhadakshayi, and Shiradakshayi. That Shiradakshayi expand is Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, Varaha avatar, Narasimha avatar. Right. Then Then it is, there are that is Nrsimha avatar, and here Bilasha Rupa, Bhagavan has Bilasha Rupa. It has two expansion, Prabhava Prakash, Bhaibhava Prakash. Prabhava Prakash 4, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. This is the first quadruple, Balaram expansion. Balaram is the Bhaibhava Prakash, right? So that is Balaram expand. Then Bhaibhava Bilash also there. So Bhaibhava Prakash, one thing, Bhaibhava Bilash, Narayan. Then I mentioned that Narayan. Then from Narayan, it second quadruple. It is the second quadruple. Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. It is the second quadruple. Then from Vasudev, Vasudev, 3 forms. Keshava, Narayan, Madhava. Then Shankarshana, 3 form. Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana. Pradyumna, 3. Trivikram, Vamana, Sridhar. On 3 form. Rishikesh, Padmanabha, Damodar. There were 12 forums. 12 forums means, do the tilak in your body? There are 12 names we put it. Om Vasudev Narayana Namo Om. That is, we are getting 3 tilaka in our body. That represent these 12 tilakas. That, and this 12 tilaka, this 12 forum is also represent the 12th month. What are the 12 months? We called Boishak, Jyeshta, Ashar, Shravan, Bhadra, Ashwin, Kartik, Bhadra, Ashwin, Kartik, Agrahayan, Magh, Falgun, Chaitra. These are 12 months. It represents the 12 months in 12 forums, right? Then you can come in here, Bhaibhava Prakash. Bhaibhava Prakash is the Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and there are Bilasha Murti, 8 Bilasha Murti. What are the 8 Bilasha? It is 2 forms, Purushottam, Adakshada, Upendra, Achyuta, Narasimha, Janardhan, Hari, and Krishna. So there are expansion. Why this is expanded? Why Krishna expanded this at the forums? Due to hold, to control his creation, to control his all the universes. Then each and every personalities is required. One example I am giving. Suppose in India, president. Under president, there is a prime minister. So he is a prime minister. He has a lot of ministry. Water ministry, then law ministry, education ministry, and all the different ministries. Because one person, prime minister, cannot control one person all over the India. So he needs the help for the ministries. All the ministers function to related problem solve and to expand the related ministry. Similarly, in here is also Krishna, his Bhaibhava Prakash, he expanded to control all over the universes. Not only one, all over the universes. So in this universe, present universe, Prithvi, we call world, in this universe, there is a Garbhodakshayi Vishnu is in here, though we cannot see it. In Garbhodakshayi he is lying down. And from the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, he expanded Shirodakshayi Vishnu. So each and every living entity, the soul is there. The Paramatma is there, right? That Paramatma is in Shirodakshayi Vishnu. You understand, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Nicely explained. Yeah, I can.
And did you see this thing, this expansion? Then now, is there any? I think there should not be any question on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is for the his control his creation. He needs this expansion. This is called the Krishna Tattva. It is in a Krishna Tattva. There it is expand and expand, expand and expand, expand and expand. So, any question? Any more question, Niranjan Prabhu?
One more thing I just want to know, like in the full moon that you told, right? Like when Krishna danced with the gopis, right? So
Yeah,
during that time, so there are like 1,000. I forget the number. Those many Krishnas were dancing with different gopis, right?
correct. This is
So,
Rash Leela.
yeah, Ras Leela. So how I can take that? That will be expansion again, right? Because there will be only one Krishna, but I can see there are 1,608 Krishnas, right? They were dancing with different gopis. So that will be a kind of expansion again, right? From the original Krishna, I can see there is expansion.
Exactly. You understand now. That is, okay, he expanded himself, each and every gopis, one Krishna.
Okay. So how?
He expanded his Krishna. How can be done?
No, but how that can be fit into this diagram that you saw, right? Like.
Oh, no. This diagram and the Rash Leela is two different things.
Oh, okay.
This is the Krishna Tattva diagram. These are the expansion. That is the another type of expansion. He is Swayam Rupa expansion. Krishna's Swayam Rupa expansion, that is.
Okay.
The Rash Leela is a Swayam Rupa expansion. Anything else?
Got it. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Any more questions? But I mentioned before I start my class, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada allotted us. That is, this is the postgraduate. And when Chaitanya Charitamrita started our Shanshar Prabhuji, he mentioned in his first class, I don't know you remember or not, it is a postgraduate studies. And is very, very deep. And this is, this is the transcendental. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that this is the transcendental stage. This is the high thought, high elevated devotees. This Chaitanya Charitamrita is very, very tough and very, very realized things. We must have to, whatever it was written, we must have to understand, not to deviate from that. And this is the full of prem. Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of prem. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed to us. And I mentioned today's in the beginning that the transcendental mellows to enter to our heart. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to push that transcendental mellows into our heart. We must have to Shravan. Shravan is not the simple things. Shravan, after long sadhana, then we can hear. It is not so easy things, Shravan. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioned, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karahe Uday. That Shravan, we must have to understand, we must should not only understand, to realize everything, realization in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Everything is realization. That is for that reason who the devotee who submits transcendental sound with a respective mode, can one realize the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message is not so easy to realize. It's not so easy to realize. We don't want to be a parrot. We want to be a realized soul. That is the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anything else, Prabhu? Anything else? Any questions or anybody has?
Thank you so much, Dattatreya Prabhu. Such a wonderful class, such a deep realization. The knowledge is so expanded in such a way that goes deep into the science of the Supreme Lord. So nicely explained, nicely elaborated. So wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the opportunities to serve the devotees.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody is on the holiday mood, long weekend. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, fine. So anybody else has anything to add or anything else? Otherwise, we can conclude today's session. That's okay. And tomorrow morning, 9:30, Gauranga Prabhu is speaking on Jagannath Leela. So please join, and the details are sent out. As everybody getting these details, just wanted to check the WhatsApp, these details and the messages which we send out. Everybody's getting it?
I got it. I got it, Prabhuji. The leaflet, it was written 9 o'clock.
Is it 9 o'clock or 9:30? Sorry, 9 o'clock. Exactly.
9 o'clock, Prabhuji.
9 o'clock. Correct. 9. It was earlier 8 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. 9 to 10:30 is correct. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So Niranjan Prabhu, you're getting the details. How about Janaki Mataji? Are you getting?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you're part of Jabaton group, right, Mataji?
There are two, I think. There is one Nityam Sevam and one is ICMJ.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Yes.
Okay. That is, that, right. Yes. That's, I created
so
it.
we are getting it. Sure.
Very good.
Yeah,
wonderful. And tomorrow is then tomorrow evening you have a temple program. Tomorrow is also Srivas Thakur's disappearance day. That is, disappearance day of Srivas Thakur. Then 5th Monday is the Yogini Ekadashi. So these wonderful days, and we can we can focus on the chanting of the holy name, hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, and association with devotees and devotional activities, which helps a lot to get more closer to Krishna and to understand more Krishna. This is so wonderful. This transcendental topic is so wonderful. We can get more closer, means we can get to know more about Krishna when we do this. And that's the purpose of our existence. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, but it's difficult. We cannot always remember Krishna, but Maya comes in between. So, but that is, we need to practice and slowly, have Krishna consciousness, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned. We have to come to that platform of Krishna consciousness. Then slowly, so this all helps us to do that. So human life is very short. We can try as much as possible so that we come at least some stage. It's very beautiful. This is a real pure science of spirituality. How we can elevate ourselves as we are spirit soul from these clutches of this illusory energy or the external energy of the Lord, or known as Maya. We are all under the spell of Maya, so many ways, with our minds, our senses, our body. The first thing Maya is attack is our mind. we have so much of mental concoctions, thoughts. It is not suitable or helpful for our spiritual consciousness. So this process, hearing, Sravanam, Kirtanam, this helps a lot. So that way we can come out of this big ocean of, or big, garbage of which we accumulated since time immemorial. So yeah, please try to join all these opportunities which Lord's mercy. And then, then
Babaji,
yeah.
As today there are no people, so one question I have, can I ask?
Sure, please go ahead.
Generally, as we know, like, during death, right? So whatever thinking is going on our mind, the next path will be the same, like we are going to take on the same path.
Yes.
So we know that, then why people are like doing that, why
That-
people are not thinking only about the Krishna,
Yeah,
so
but-
that there will be, next life will be kind of good life, right?
Right. Yes, you're absolutely right. It is mentioned in the 7th chapter. Andakale chimame was maran mukta kalevaram saprayadi sadbhavam yadi nasti atra samsheha yamyam yabis maran bhavam tichindi kalevaram samtam edud eva idi kaundeya sada sadbhava magadaha. What it means that Andakale chimame was maran mukta kalevaram. But one who meditate upon me at the time of death, he will attain me. Yam andakale cha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram sa sayadis sabat madbhavam yadi natri atra samsheha. There is no doubt into that. Krishna is saying that na samsheha. Then Krishna also says that yam vabhismaran bhavam tajyandi kal yam vabhismaran bhavam. Whatever the thoughts, whatever we are in our consciousness at the time of death, yam vabhismaran bhavam tajyandi kalevaram sa tada dadbhava. Yeah, I just forgot that verse. It's mixing up. So whatever the thoughts we have, Yamam Yabhismaran Bhavam, Techande, Kalevaram, Tamtam, Evadi Kaunteya, one will attain that. Evadi Kaunteya, Orchina, one will attain that. And Sadatsat Bhava Magadaha. And then you will attain that. So it's very clear. Then the question is that, Prabhuji, how many of people in this world knows that? How many of them read Bhagavad Gita? There are only hardly few in this world. Like when you take 7.5 billion people, out of that, very few, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, first verse itself, 7th chapter, Manushyanam Sahasreshu. And in the beginning of this verses, Krishna says the same thing. Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yadadi Siddhaye Yadadi Abhisiddhanam Kachit Mameti Tattvadaha. Manushyanam Sahasreshu. There are millions of people, trying to know me. But there is only one hardly knows me. There are thousands of millions of people out there, hardly one knows me. Manushyanam. Krishna knows. Krishna explains this very well in Bhagavad. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yadadi siddhaye. Yadadi dabhisiddhana. That means one who knows me. And out of millions of people knows me, and kaschit mamedi tattvadaha. And actually really knows me in full. Really knows me in complete. See that, how powerful that verse it is. So because of this, and because of the Maya's influence, our tendency is to forget, even though we hear this. Do we remember this always? No, we have a tendency to forget. So how we are forgetting? Because of the Maya's influence. Because of Maya, because of so many things we do every day, and so Maya's influence, we just try to, yes, I mean, that we gradually get there. I mean, it's not that, all on a sudden it happens. Gradually this is called purification. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, Chedo Darpana Marchanam. We have to cleanse our mirror of the heart by Sankirtan, by this devotional service. Sankirtanekya. Param Vijayade Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. We have to get into this real devotion. Then what happens? Gradually it purifies. And then we can see everything clearly in the mirror. We can see our clear picture like that. We can see everything very clearly. And that consciousness, when we keep that, then that will be always in our consciousness. then people will have that consciousness at the time of death, Krishna consciousness, and they will attain the Supreme. When the people engage more into these material activities, then what happened? Their consciousness also polluted. So it's very difficult, right? So many people have mental problems. So many people cannot stabilize their mind. Mind goes away from all directions, and it's actually engages the intelligence and the senses and the body. That's what we can see in this world. So many directions, so many ways. People are struggling and suffering with that because of they cannot control their mind. They think that everything else is so wonderful, so nice. But in reality, it's all giving us the trouble and the problems. And then because of this, what happens? Maya's influence, we are not putting our endeavor, and without endeavor, we won't get mercy. Then all is there. Then what happens? Slowly, this living entity is swayed away from the spiritual consciousness to the material consciousness. Material consciousness is actually the ignorance or the forgetful state. We think that we are so intelligent, I can remember so many things. And if we don't remember the Supreme Lord, we are completely into the, illusion and completely into the forgetful state. Completely in illusion, completely in darkness, andhakar, completely in that stage. So how one can actually remember the Lord in that state is very difficult. So it's not possible in one sense, even though we hear this, thousands of times we hear this, unless and until we put our endeavor and purify ourselves, it's difficult that at the time of death we get this an opportunity. But on the other hand, also Lord promised, one who even practice a little bit that Krishna consciousness and is sincere, his devotee is in the consciousness, is pure, he practices. And of course, we have our own dharma, like a grihastha cannot be like a sannyasi. And like that. So we have whatever the activities that Krishna inflicted upon us, gave us upon us, and if you purify that properly, then Krishna makes sure that it's mentioned that Krishna makes sure that at the time of death we have that consciousness. Krishna will remember us, right? Like we know that when Dhruva Maharaj was when he was just 5 years old. He went to forest. He did such a penance and tapas for 6 months, and Lord appeared before the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord appeared before Dhruva Maharaj. And just by the touch of the conch in the forehead of Dhruva Maharaj could completely purify, and Dhruva Maharaj could see that everything very nicely, the spiritual subject matter, completely purified. So by the darshan, that's what is the most important. By the darshan, by the holy name, by hearing, association, this all purifies us, right? Now, Niranjan Prabhu, you have more clarity on things which you are asking questions, and you understood the things and very clear because of this is the mercy of because of this the potency of the Lord. But after this class or after a couple of days, you were saying so many things and the friends. And when you are getting into the friends along with it, we don't even remember any of these things. We don't even think any of those things. Why? This is the influence of Maya. So that's the potency of it. So just by the darshan of the Lord, just by the touch of the Lord, Guru Maharaj could completely see the spiritual subject matter. Then 36,000 years, Guru Maharaj ruled this entire planet. The 36,000 years, it was in Satya Yuga. Right? This 100, like 100,000 years is actually, the complete 100,000 is the elongated lifespan of a human living entity. 100,000 years. So 36,000 years, Dhruva Maharaj ruled the kingdom. And at the time of departure, Lord himself remembered, and Lord sent his personal associate Nanda and Sunanda with the chariot. And Nanda and Sunanda came with the swan chariot and took the Dhruva Maharaj. And that time Dhruva Maharaj mentioned, my mother is actually instructed me this to chant the holy name to connect me with the Supreme Lord. So Sunidhi was the Pada Pradakshina Guru. Pada Pradakshina Guru means one who showed the path. So even one who shows the path. So then Dhruva Maharaj mentioned about what about my mom, my mother. So then the associates of the Lord, they are in the 400 Vishnu form. they showed to the other chariot which was flying ahead of Dhruva Maharaj. And Lord also remembered to take the Sunidhi, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, to take in another chariot to the abode of Vaikunta, the Supreme Lord. So Lord remembers this. So anything that which we do for the Lord, Lord always remembers that. So Lord never forget it. So that's so merciful. He is Bhakta Valsala. He is he is omnipresent, he is omnipotent, and he is omniscient. He can see everything. Everything is in his. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. Krishna says that I am not, revealed to the non-devotees, but I am revealed to my devotees. And Sarvasya Jagam Rudhi Sannivishto Madagas Padur Jnanam Abohanam Cha. Right? I am seated in everyone's heart. From me remembrance comes, from me forgetfulness comes, from me knowledge comes. So it's all arrangement of Krishna, but all this depends upon how much we desire for the Lord. So this is called love. If anybody, desire for another person, that's a love. Actually, that's a symbol of love or sign of love, right? So that's the same way. The Lord, if how much we very purely, we desire for the service of the Lord. So Lord will accordingly grant that. So only way that we can remember the Supreme Lord is actually we engage in His service. So Lord will remember, right? Even though that we don't need to remember any of those things, but Lord will remember. That means Lord seated in our heart. From me remembrance comes, from me forgetfulness comes, from me knowledge comes. So who do we get this? How do we get this? Whom we get this remembrance, knowledge, and all these things? One who is desire for the Lord, one who has desires to serve the Lord, one who has the love for the Lord, one who engages in the loving devotional service to the Lord. Lord will remember such devotees. We don't need to worry about at the time of death or anything like that. What would happen to me? No, we don't need to worry at all. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Nicely explained, I think.
So that's the most important. So the more all we can, that's what is all we are destined to. All we need to do, right?
Yeah.
Just engage in the loving devotional service of the Lord. That's all. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Was that okay? Was that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, let's conclude. So let's thank you, Dattatreya Prabhu, for such a nice class. And let's also thank everybody. Let's pay our obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Vancha kalpatarubhasya
Krupasindhubhyo eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo.
Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Chandraj Srimad Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Guru Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Dattatreya.
Thank you, Dattatreya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Kiel keller.